Hey guys, welcome to the channel. It's been a few weeks. I've been out of the country and I've just been pretty much taking my own vacations. But today I have a really cool video for you. And this is mainly if you are using DeFi render and whether or not you're using BIM or you're using Rhino or you're using SketchUp and you are connecting it with DeFi render. I wanted to show you how to edge-stylize the renderings with AI and what are the results you can expect. And at the end of the video, I'm going to show you a quick bonus of how to generate your own style if you want to actually bring that style in and then render it with that style with respecting the same form. So again, we are going to go and go to DeFi render. So here, this is the building I have for you. So right now I'm trying to, I'm working with a client here and we wanted to kind of have view like that and have a rendering of to show our client like this specific side of the building, which is going to be a complete new building, I believe, and we're going to demo the old building. But because it's one of the first meetings, we don't want to necessarily give a photorealistic image. We want to kind of give something that is a little bit more conceptual, and that's why I thought this is the perfect sample to kind of go through the AI stylized renderings that DeFi has to offer, and then from there just kind of let you know what are the possibilities out there. So the first thing will be step one will be to rendering the view. So I already have a view set up here. I call it seed 5. So this is the view I want to render. So the first thing you need to do to access the AI post-processing tool will be I'll just start with the rendering. So you want to just render it. I will eventually, for post-production later, you might want to like bring the channels. So if I have to kind of give you a recommendation, would be the main ones are sky mask, the material ID, potential transparency, the seep depth, and the AI post-production channel. So once you do that, you make sure that you go and render it. Once it renders, it will save the image and it will ask you if you want to do any AI post-processing. So let's just do it right now. I'm gonna just select the folder, see schematic, render one, and then I'm just gonna call it resources, and I'm just gonna save it there. So it's gonna render it right now, and once it's gonna finish rendering, it's good so you have this, so you have the masks. So in the future, because the AI stylized rendering, it might again give you that 80-90% that you need, but you might still need to do some post-production in Photoshop later, and that's why it's great that you render it with the masks on. In that way, whenever you have your final AI render, you can bring it to Photoshop and from there do that. So after you render this, it will give you the opportunity to do the AI post-processing. And once you click on it, you will be directed here. Let's put this image here. And as you can tell, I've been doing a few tests here already. And I just kind of want to guide you through how to do it. So let's go here. So this is our rendering here. And as you can tell, okay, this is cool. It's a good first pass, but I wanted to do something more conceptual, right? So that's why I haven't really put a lot of the detail in the modeling yet, as far as the door handle and stuff, because it's still pretty conceptual. So here's where you will have the effects in painting, AI enhancer, AI style transfer. Today we're just going to focus on this one so I can show you really what it's possible, and we're going to be focusing specifically on this in stylized and then the transfer reference. So here you can see like you have a few options here, and the way it works is you will click on the option that you want, and before you actually click AI transfer style, you will click here and it will give you the style transfer weight and the structure matching weight. Generally speaking, whenever you render this, you might want to keep most of the structure, if not all the structure. So I would recommend to just keep it like this, how it was recommended. You want to keep it between 0.9 or 1, right? It will, when you keep it at 0.9, it will respect most of it, like not all of it. So this was how I would just recommend you to render it this way. So this is the way it's transferring the style. So it's keeping a little bit of the style as you already see the rendering, but it's transferring most of it. Now, the more you want the style to be part of it, you want a completely watercolor and absolutely, increase the creativity of it, then you can bring it to like maybe 9, like 8 or 9. But I would recommend you to keep it in 6. But for now, let's say, so once you kind of do that, it will start rendering. Oh, okay, so here we go. So here is the first one, and you can tell how it's rendering it. Now, is it gonna do it perfectly? No, I think most of the time it's gonna have little mistakes, right? So for instance, you see these little things here going on here. What I've noticed is that, I don't know if it's just the way the model was trained, but generally speaking, voxel and the scale model are not as good as the other ones. And again, it really comes to what type of building you're using, the type of image you're using. But the way I'm looking at this is you might want to do this as a mask. You don't want to render this and just call it good. I think what you really want to do is render it and use it as a mask. So to that render, plus the mask that you already rendered at the beginning, you want to bring that to Photoshop, and then bring this one as a mask too. And then maybe you can use these as a base, but then you have options. So that's the voxel, and you see how it's still mixing weird stuff. From there, you might want to, like, you know, maybe bring the style down, so maybe it helps a little bit to not make weird artifacts. But while it's rendering, I'm gonna show you a few other examples. So for instance, this one here, this will be the, I believe this is the pen sketch, and you can tell like how, and this is, all these are rendered either with the recommended, which is the weighted at 6 and the structure at 9, at 0.9. So you can tell how it keeps the same structure all the way through. Like you see how maybe it adds a few things here and there, but it's pretty good. I mean, I will say it keeps all of it. If not, you know, maybe here it starts doing some weird stuff because of the reflection of the glass. But that's something that you can actually go to the model and try to fix that, right? You try maybe to make change the opacity of the glass a little bit, so it's less reflective. Change a little bit of the glass to be less reflective. Move the opacity a little bit. Maybe move the camera a little bit so you don't see complete the reflection of the gate right there. But yeah, I mean, look at this. I mean, this is pretty good. This is the other one. This is the one that it's a model, a scale model. Now you can tell like how these could be very used for like masks. Like if you go to a mask tool in Photoshop and you put it on a maybe multiply or an overlay and just change the opacity a little bit, it might give you a nice warmth tint to the foundation image. This one here I believe is the pencil. No, this one here is the pencil. And the great thing is, like, so if we go back again to the rendering that we did at the beginning, so that's the main rendering. So that's the other one. You see how it's actually start even more, right? Like it's even, so this is more like you have Legos. You see that? It's actually kind of fun. Okay, now I get it. It's kind of with like Legally wise, but it's still doing some funny stuff. Now, the great thing is that another trick that you can do is that, for instance, once you render something, I'm not gonna show you that one yet, but once you render something that you already like, so this one here, that's cartoon. And you can tell like it's pretty clean. Like this could be a really nice overlay that you can put like a thin line. Maybe you can even put an extra filter on Photoshop and make it even a little bit more illustrative. But you can tell like it's not keeping the color of the materials here. So that's something you might want to do in Photoshop, again, with the layers you already brought in, with the material ID that you downloaded already as a mask. You will highlight those, and then you will potentially just change the tone. You just duplicate the layer and change the hue. But yeah, I mean, so when you come here, so that would be the cartoon. And again, you will just go ahead and go to 6 and 0.9, and you will click on it, and it will give you this result. Something cool that you can do is you can, once you have this image there, you can grab from this image, you can download it, and then you can bring it as a style transfer. But also you can, from this image, you can also create a style transfer, and it will create like a stylized rendering out of that specific image. Not that it's gonna change much because it's the same building and it's the same structure, but maybe it will add something a little bit different. What else? This one here is the watercolor. What I've noticed with the watercolor is that sometimes it gets a little bit moody. So you might want to play with this. Again, you might want to play with the weight transfers here and see what works best for you. But yeah, these are mainly the main things. I mean, these are watercolor. You can tell how you, and this is the best thing. Like most of the architects or architecture designers out there are trying to render with AI. The problem is when you're rendering directly from a LLM, it's trying to create masks. It's trying to read the depth, but it works a lot better when you are trying to do those from a real-time rendering because the model is in there. So it can actually read what's glass, what's not glass, what's the depth of it. So it becomes a lot more accurate. Now, there's a lot less flexibility as far as the, like that, right? And there's no prompting to this, but you're kind of giving the prompting through images. Also, the holy grail of this that I'm gonna show you is like, so let's say you like this image, and this is another image I downloaded from Pinterest, and you can tell it's an AI generated image. But let's say I like the style of this, so I really like that. I'm gonna see if I can transfer that. So how can I transfer a style into this? So for that, you will have to go to the realistic mode, and then here you will have the style transfer from reference. And then I will upload that image. Let's see. So as you see, I drag that image here, and then you can, again, I will start with the recommended part, and then you can kind of from there, seeing the result, then you can play around with it. So you render that. And the great thing is like you can still inpaint things once you have something that you really, really, really like. So with that one there, these is the results I get. And let's say, oh, that looks awesome, but you're still messing up that. So I would recommend to do that in Photoshop. There is ways you can potentially, I will not say even retouch this, but you can enhance it. So before you, let's say you like that one, the only thing you will change is the material here. I would just go ahead and do that in post-production. But before you bring that to post-production, what I would do is I will enhance it. I will try to keep again, I'll try to first of all start with this. And then from there, you can test a few other things. And then you can specify content here, I guess. But I would just do the enhancement right away like that. In that way, what we will do, it will just create a higher quality image. It will sharpen the image a little bit. Will it make big changes? I don't think it will make big changes, but it will make things a little bit more realistic, a little bit more sharpened, and a better, higher quality image. So with that, you can download that if you like that one. Otherwise, you just download the previous before the enhancement, and then you bring it to Photoshop as a mask that you will then have the first mask that we talked about. And so whenever you render the first one and download the mask, these are the layers you should have. And what I would do, and plus the AI layer that you are doing. So with those layers, what I would do, it was bring these to Photoshop, put the AI layer on top. You can use for instance, in this case, you can use the material ID mask for you to grab these layers here. And then from there, you can actually change the hue or just keep the original ones. And you see these kind of like sharpen that a little bit. And then, yeah, whatever you want to kind of, and you can, it probably sharpen it a little bit too much. So I might just go back to enhancer, or you might still keep these as a mask and just take the opacity down a little bit because it did sharpen it a little bit too much. But either way, that is what I have for you guys today.